So Corey, you remember Clippy?
The Microsoft Office paperclip?
Yeah, he was always so helpful, right?
Yeah.
Popping up. Hey, it looks like you're trying to launch an attack. Do you need some help? Let's see what this next team's got up their sleeves.
Hello everyone, my name is Hamid Raufi and this is my partner Rita Law, and we are the team behind Pgen. Getting into ethical hacking, with Kali Linux, we would often generate payloads to run on our target machines. But as the days were passing by, we realized if you're someone who is a newcomer into the red team operations, getting all the command line options correct for MSFvenom can be quite complex. So for this reason, we decided to create a tool called Pgen. Pgen is a wrapper around MSFvenom that generates the most common payloads for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. It works by prompting the user for certain information, defining the target, and produces a custom payload according to the input entered. Our goal is to simplify the process of generating a payload for those that are beginners in ethical hacking, as well as providing a friendlier experience. So why don't we generate a payload directly from MSFvenom? Well, to answer that, I will demonstrate to you all some of the common mistakes Willow, a newbie hacker, commits while trying to search through MSFvenom manually. For example, Willow attempts to list every single payload for Windows and instead is flabbergasted by every single payload in MSFvenom. Another example would be Willow attempts to create a payload but doesn't complete all the arguments required. In a nutshell, MSFvenom is a great tool, but if you're someone who's just trying to understand it, who's just starting to understand it, chances are that you will need to refer to the tool's documentation every time you want to generate a payload. So now that we know the purpose of this tool, Rita will demonstrate to us the experience of using it.
Thanks, Hamid. So Willow is now going to use Pgen to generate a Linux interpreter reverse shell. The first three questions ask about the system's operating system, architecture, and whether it's staged or stageless. Next, she's going to have to decide whether to use an interpreter with a reverse or bind shell. She's going to decide to use a reverse shell because she prefers the victim to connect back to her machine. After she finishes entering reverse, she's going to have to enter her IP address. The IP address is really easy to mess up because you're just typing in ones and zeros. So we decided to use input validation in order to make the process easier so that when you actually mess up once, you don't end up messing up for the entire thing. After she generates the IP address, she's going to have to enter other details such as the port she's going to listen on, 4444, and then as well as the file format. Finally, she gets to decide whether she wants to use an encoder to evade antivirus or anti-malware detection. She's going to choose yes because antivirus protection is actually relatively sophisticated nowadays. So actually even using the encoder means that most antivirus detection is going to detect it. So now we specified how many iterations of encoding she can use. Finally, all she has to do is name the file, and once she's finished naming her file, in this case Linux shell, she just has to wait until the file is done generating, and Willow is now ready to use her newly encoded payload. If you would like to get started on Pgen, please check us out at GitHub.
If I got $1 for every time I used MSFvenom correctly the first time, every time generating a payload, I would have exactly $0. I have been using this for quite some time, and I think that of all the offensive security tools that we've dove into here, that is one of the most complex So I think creating a nice, easy-to-use interface is not just great for those who are beginning, but also those who are even more experienced in the industry who don't want to have to continually look through the help menu, find those proper payloads every single time. I really like this tool.
Yeah, absolutely. Reading man pages can be tough, and this payload generator is really nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we've got up next.
All right.